Everyone says gig work is freedom. What if it's costing you more than you ever earn? Too many jump into gig apps for quick cash, then burn out with empty bank accounts. Let's talk honestly. Today, we're comparing gig work, Uber, DoorDash, Fiverr, TaskRabbit, versus building a structured side income. This isn't a second job, but an intentional earning approach. We'll analyze both, see who each works for, then give you a clear verdict and actionable plan. Let's start with the dilemma most people face. Income gap, rising rent, stubborn debt, or flat emergency fund. You need money fast. Gig economy looks like the obvious answer. Download an app, verify, earn by weekend. Accessibility is real, but accessibility isn't profitability. That's where it gets complicated. Option A, gig economy work. Here's what gig work gets right. Speed. With a car, bike, or smartphone, earn within days. No interviews, HR delays, or probation. For a genuine financial crunch, speed has value, and flexibility is legitimate. Work when you want, as much or as little. If your schedule is unpredictable, you have kids, chronic illness, or a demanding main job, gig work fits gaps traditional jobs cannot. But here's the crucial detail the apps hide. The average Uber driver earns $15 to $17 per hour before expenses. After fuel, vehicle wear and tear, insurance, and self-employment tax, that drops to $8 to $11 take-home. Below minimum wage in many states. Take Priya. 2 years ago, she drove rideshare for an extra $800 monthly to cover a car payment, putting in 15 hours a week. She hit her target, technically. But 14 months in, her car needed $1,400 in repairs, brakes, tires, an oil issue. She did the math and realized she was effectively paying about $100 a month to drive people around, factoring accelerated depreciation. That's not a failure of effort. That's a failure of information. But here's what most people miss: the silent psychological drain. Gig work has what researchers call a treadmill effect. Income feels wildly variable. Some weeks great, some terrible, making it hard to plan, save, or stop. You keep logging on for just one more shift, never sure if you've earned enough. That uncertainty is exhausting. Studies show gig workers report significantly higher financial anxiety than stable employees. The gig economy works best as a short-term bridge. If you need cash fast with a defined goal and endpoint, e.g. 3 months to build a $1,500 emergency fund, it can absolutely serve that purpose. The problem, most people don't set that boundary. It becomes an income strategy, not a temporary tool. Option B, structured side income. So, what's the long-term solution? I call it structured side income. This path takes longer to start, but compounds. It means building something with more intentional returns, freelancing a specific skill, selling digital products, tutoring, creating content, or remote bookkeeping. The key difference is leverage. In gig work, you trade time for money in a very direct, linear way. More hours equals more dollars with a fixed ceiling. Structured side income, done right, starts to decouple your time from your earnings. Take freelance writing. Month 1, you might earn $200 building a portfolio and finding clients. By month 6, with consistency, that could mean $800 to $1,200 monthly for the same hours. Because your rates rise, referrals come in, and low-value projects are avoided. Your hourly rate grows without proportional hours. Or digital products. Create a $27 budgeting spreadsheet template, sell it on Gumroad or Etsy. Make sales while you're asleep, at the gym, or with family. The upfront work is real. It takes time to build, market, and refine, but ongoing returns don't require ongoing hours. Here's the honest caveat. Structured side income requires patience if bills are due next week. It demands identifying a skill people will pay for, self-assessment needed. And tolerating a slower start feels demoralizing when gig apps promise $500 this weekend. But those who stick with it, who pick a lane, get good at it, and market consistently, are the ones whose side income eventually feels like real financial progress, not a hamster wheel. The verdict. Here's the smart move you likely haven't considered. These two options aren't necessarily in competition. The smartest approach is often to use them in sequence. If you're in a genuine financial crunch right now, gig work is a legitimate tool to stabilize. Use it, but set a clear goal and a clear endpoint. I'm doing this for 90 days to build a $2,000 buffer is a completely different psychological experience than I'm doing this indefinitely because I need the money. One is a sprint, the other is a trap. While you're doing that sprint, start laying the groundwork for phase 2. Spend just 30 minutes a week, just 30 minutes, identifying one skill you actually have that someone else would pay for, not what you wish you were good at. Think data entry, social media, video editing, tutoring, cooking meal prep, doing taxes for small businesses. The list is genuinely endless. The research consistently shows that people who reach financial stability from a lower starting point almost always have two things: a short-term income stabilizer and a longer-term income builder. The gig economy can be one, but it is a very poor candidate for the other. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor before making financial decisions that affect your personal situation. Here's your one action for today. Open your Notes app right now and write down: 1. One skill you have someone might pay for. 2. One gig platform you could use for the next 30 to 90 days if you genuinely need to bridge a cash gap. 2 lists, 5 minutes. That's the beginning of a plan that actually works. If this helped you think differently about your income, subscribe. I put out new finance videos weekly, focused on real strategies for real people, not the highlight reel version. And if you're working through a tough financial season right now, drop a comment. You're not alone. And sometimes just saying it out loud is the first step. See you in the next one.